Bring him in. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Let's not beat about the bush. Anything but that. Deacon, you're a civilized man. So am I. Sit down. What do you think this is? It's my finger. And this is my little finger. I wave my big finger in front of your eyes, like this. And I do the same with my little finger. I can also use both at the same time. Like this. I can do absolutely anything I like. Do you think I'm mad? My mother did. Do you think waving fingers in front of people's eyes is silly? See your point. You're a man of the highest intelligence. But would you take the same view if it was my boot? Or my penis? Not my eyes. Other people's eyes. The eyes of people who are brought to me here. They're so vulnerable. The soul shines through them. Are you a religious man? I am. Which side do you think God is on? I'm going to heaven to drink. You're probably wondering where your wife is. She's in another room. Good-looking woman. God, that was good. Don't worry, I can hold my booze. You may have noticed I'm the chatty type. You probably think I'm part of a predictable, formal, long-established pattern. I cheat away, friendly, insouciant. I open the batting, as it were, in a light-hearted, even careful manner. While another waits in the wings, silent, introspective, coiled like a puma. No, it's not quite like that. I run the place. God speaks through me. I'm referring to the Old Testament God, by the way, although I'm a long way from being Jewish. Everyone respects me here, including you, I take it. I think that is the correct stance. Stand up. Sit down. Thank you so much. Tell me something. Good-looking woman your wife is. Very lucky man. Tell me, I'm for the road, I think. You do respect me, I take it. I'd be right in assuming that. But you respect me. I don't know you. Are you saying you don't respect me? Are you saying you would respect me if you knew me better? Would you like to know me better? Would you like to know me better? I'm black. No bearing on the matter. Oh, yes, it has. I've heard so much about you. I'm terribly pleased to meet you. Not should I. Pleased is the right word. One has to be so scrupulous about language. Intrigued. I'm intrigued. Firstly, because I've heard so much about you. Secondly, because if you don't respect me, you're unique. Everyone else knows the voice of God speaks through me. I'm a religious man, I take it. I don't believe in a guiding light. What then? So, morally, you flounder in wet shit. You know, like when you've eaten a rancid omelette. I think I deserve one for the road. Do you drink whiskey? Yeah, you have a lovely house, lots of books. Someone told me some of my boys kicked it around a bit, pissed on the rugs, that sort of thing. I wish they wouldn't do that. I do, really. But you know what it's like. They have such responsibilities, and they feel them. They are constantly present, day and night, these responsibilities, and so sometimes they piss on a few rugs. You understand. You're not a fool. Is your son all right? No. Oh, I'm sure he's all right. What age is he? 7 or thereabouts? Big lad, I'm told. Nevertheless, silly of him to behave as he did. Is he all right? I don't know. Oh, I'm sure he's all right. Anyway, I'll have a word with him later and find out. Somewhere on the 2nd floor, I believe. Well, what do you say? Are we friends? Fair to be frank is a true friendship. I love death. What about you? What about you? Do you love death? Not necessarily your own. Others. The death of others. Do you love the death of others, or at any rate, do you love the death of others as much as I do? You're always so dull. I understood you enjoyed the kind thrust of debate. Death, 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 death. As has been noted by the most respected authorities, it is beautiful, purest, most harmonious thing there is. Sexual intercourse is nothing compared to it. Talking about sexual intercourse. Does she fuck? Does she like, you know, what? Well, what is she like? I'm talking about your wife. Your wife. You know the old joke. Does she fuck? Does she fuck? It's ambiguous, of course. It could mean she fucks like a rabbit, or she fucks not at all. Well, we're all God's creatures, even your wife. There's only one obligation, to be honest. You have no other obligation. Weigh that. In your mind, do you know the man who runs this country? No? Well, he's a very nice chap. He took me aside the other day, last Wednesday, I think it was. He took me aside at a reception, visiting dignitaries. He took me aside, me, and he said to me, he said, in what I can only describe as a hoarse whisper, Nick, he said, Nick, that's my name, Nick, if you ever come across anyone whom you have good reason to believe is getting on like tits, tell them one thing. Tell them honesty is the best policy. The cheese was superb. Goat. One for the road. Your wife and I had a very nice chat, but I couldn't help noticing she didn't look her best. Probably menstruating. Women do that. You know, old chap, I do love other things apart from death. So many things. Nature. Trees. Things like that. A nice blue sky. Blossom. Tell me, truly, are you beginning to love me? I think your wife is. Beginning. She is beginning to fall in love with me. On the brink. Doing so. The trouble is, I have rivals. Because everyone here has fallen in love with your wife. Her eyes have beguiled them. What's her name? Sheila or something? Who would you prefer to be? You or me? I'd go for me if I were you. The trouble about you, although I grant your merits, is that you're on a losing wicket. Well, I can't put a foot wrong. Do you take my point? Oh, God, let me confess. Let me make it a confession to you. I have never been more moved in the whole of my life as when, only the other day, last Friday, I believe, the man who runs this country announced to the country, we are all patriots. We are as one. We all share a common heritage. Except you, apparently. I feel a link, you see, a bond. I share a commonwealth of interest. I am not alone. I am not alone. What? True. What's the matter? What in heaven's name is the matter? You're probably just hungry. Or thirsty. Let me tell you something. I hate despair. I find it intolerable. The stink of it gets up my nose. It's a blemish. Despair, old fruit, is a cancer. It should be castrated. Indeed, I have often found that works. Chop the balls off and despair goes out the window. You're left with a happy man. Or a happy woman. Look at me. Your soul shines out of your eyes. What is your name? Nicky? Really? How odd. You like cowboys and Indians? Yes, a bit. What do you really like? I like airplanes. Real ones or toy ones? I like both kinds of ones. Do you? Why do you like airplanes? Well, because they go so fast through the air, the real ones do. And the toy ones? I pretend they go as fast as the real ones do. Do you like your mommy and daddy? Do you like your mommy and daddy? Yes. Why? Why? I find that a hard question to answer. How's mommy? You don't like your mommy and daddy? Yes, I do. Why? Would you like to be a soldier when you grow up? I don't mind. You don't? Good. You like soldiers? Good. But you spat at my soldiers and you kicked them. You attacked them. Were they your soldiers? They are your country's soldiers. I didn't like those soldiers. They don't like you either, my darling. When did you meet your husband? When I was 18. Why? 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 I've just met him. Why? I didn't plan it. Why not? I didn't know him. Why not? Why not? I didn't know him. Why not? I met him when? When I was 18. Why? He was in the room. The same room. As what? As I was. As I was. As I was! Room? What room? A room. What room? My father's room. Your father? What's your father got to do with it? Your father? How dare you? Fuck, pig! Your father was a wonderful man. His country is proud of him. He's dead. He was a man of honor. He's dead. Are you prepared to insult the memory of your father? Are you prepared to defame, to debase the memory of your father? Your father fought for his country. I knew him. I revered him. Everyone did. He believed in God. He didn't think like you shitbags. He lived. He lived. He was iron and gold. He would die. He would die. He would die for his country, for his God. And he did die. He died. He died for his God. You turd. To spawn such a daughter. What a fate, oh poor perturbed spirit, to be hunted forever by such scum and spittle. How do you dare speak of your father to me? I loved him, as if he were my own father. Where did you meet your husband? In the street. What were you doing there? Walking. What was he doing? Walking. I dropped something. He picked it up. What did you drop? The evening paper. He would drop. He would drop. You absconded from your hospital. I was not in a hospital. Where are you now? Where are you now? Do you think you are in a hospital? Do you think we have nuns upstairs? What do we have upstairs? No nuns. What do we have? Men. Have they been raping you? How many times? How many times have you been raped? How many times? This is my big finger, and this is my little finger. Look, I wave them in front of your eyes, like this. How many times have you been raped? I don't know. And you consider yourself a reliable witness? You're a lovely woman. Well, you were. Your son is 7. He's a little prick. You made him so. You taught him to be so. You had a choice. You could have encouraged him to be a good person. Instead, you encouraged him to be a little prick. You encouraged him to spit. You encouraged him to strike at soldiers of honor, soldiers of God. Oh well. In one way, I suppose it's academic. You have no interest to me. I might even let you out of here in due course. And I should think you might entertain us all a little more before you go. How have you been? Surviving? Yes. Yes? Yes. Really, how? I can't hear you. It's my mouth. Mouth? Tongue. What's the matter with it? What about a drink? One for the road? What do you say to a drink? Drink up, and I'll put lead in your pencil. And then we'll find someone to take it out. We can do that, you know. We have a first-class brothel upstairs on the 6th floor. Chandeliers, the lot. They'll suck you in and blow you out in little bubbles. All volunteers. The daddies are in our business, which is, I remind you, to keep the world clean for God. Got me? Drink up. Drink up. Are you refusing to drink with me? Cheers. You can go. You can leave. We'll meet again, I hope. I trust we will always remain friends. Go out. Enjoy life. Be good. Love your wife. She'll be joining you in about a week, by the way, if she feels up to it. Yes, I feel we both benefited from our discussions. What? What? I'm sorry. Your son? Your son? Oh, don't worry about him. He was a little prick.